Echoes of the Damned. In the heart of a relentless storm, a circle of friends found themselves huddled around a feeble, flickering fire, the only source of light in the suffocating darkness. The rain battered down with fury, as if trying to extinguish their last refuge. The air was heavy with a foreboding sense of dread, and the friends, clad in drenched clothes, clung to each other for comfort. Desperation in their eyes, they decided to distract themselves with tales of the supernatural, not knowing they were about to open a portal to their deepest fears. The first story began, a chilling tale of a haunted asylum, its walls echoing with the screams of past patients. As the details grew more gruesome, the friends failed to notice the subtle change in the rain's rhythm. It was as if the droplets themselves were whispering, murmuring secrets too dark to be spoken aloud. Unsettled, the group pressed on, thinking the sounds were mere figments of their imagination. But with each story told, the whispers grew louder, more insistent, intertwining with the tales of ghostly encounters and demonic possessions, revealing unspeakable horrors and sins left untold. The storm outside mirrored their growing panic, winds howling like tormented souls, and the rain falling harder, as if angered by their intrusion. The fire flickered violently, casting ominous shadows that seemed to dance and writhe in agony. One by one, the friends fell silent, paralyzed by fear as the whispers turned into guttural growls, recounting a tale of betrayal and a spirit wronged, seeking vengeance from beyond the grave. The fire's light dimmed, and the friends realized with horror that their surroundings were dissolving into darkness, the storm consuming everything in its path. Frantic, they tried to flee, but an invisible force held them in place, their bodies frozen as the whispers reached a deafening crescendo. And then, one by one, they began to vanish, their screams swallowed by the storm, leaving behind nothing but the echoes of their stories and the sinister whispers in the rain. When the storm finally subsided and the search parties ventured into the woods, all they found was a circle of charred earth where the fire had once been. The air was thick with an eerie silence, but if one listened closely, they could hear faint whispers carried by the breeze, recounting tales of terror and despair. The friends were never seen again, their stories becoming part of the forest's dark lore, a chilling reminder of the night the storm unleashed its fury, erasing them from existence and leaving behind only the whispers of the damned. The Sinister Passenger. On a desolate highway shrouded in darkness, the steady hum of an engine echoed through the night as Alex, a weary driver, navigated through the torrential rain. The windshield wipers worked tirelessly, struggling to clear the relentless downpour. The world outside was blurred, distorted by the sheets of rain. Just as the solitude of the road began to weigh heavy, a figure emerged from the shadows, a hitchhiker, drenched from head to toe, standing with an outstretched thumb. Hesitant but feeling a pang of sympathy, Alex pulled over and welcomed the stranger into the car. The hitchhiker, shivering and soaked, expressed gratitude with a raspy voice, introducing themselves as Casey. Grateful for the shelter, Casey began to share stories to pass the time, tales of terror and darkness that seemed too real, too vivid to be mere fiction. With each story, the atmosphere inside the car grew heavier, the rain outside intensifying, as if feeding off the tales of horror. The tales ranged from haunted houses and cursed objects to demonic possessions and ghostly apparitions. Each story was more terrifying than the last, and Alex could feel a growing sense of unease. Casey's eyes, once dull and weary, now gleamed with a sinister light, and their voice grew more confident, more chilling. The car seemed to be closing in, the darkness outside consuming all light, the rain blurring the boundaries between reality and nightmare. The final story was Casey's own, a tale of betrayal and revenge, of a spirit wronged and seeking vengeance. Alex's heart pounded in their chest as they realized the horrifying truth. Casey was not of this world, but a vengeful spirit, lured to the living by the storm. The car's interior grew colder, the air thick with malice, as Casey's form began to flicker, revealing glimpses of a tortured soul, bound by rage and sorrow. The rain outside mirrored Casey's fury, pounding on the car with relentless force. With a sinister smile, Casey turned to Alex, whispering a chilling thank you before vanishing into thin air, leaving Alex alone on the deserted highway, heart racing and breaths shallow. The rain ceased abruptly, and the silence that followed was deafening. Alex sat there for what felt like an eternity, paralyzed by fear, until the first light of dawn broke through the darkness. Shaken and traumatized, Alex drove away, the encounter with the hitchhiker forever etched in their memory. But the horror did not end there. Every rainy night, on that same desolate stretch of highway, Alex could hear the echoes of Casey's stories, carried by the wind and rain, a chilling reminder of the night they encountered the sinister passenger. And somewhere, in the shadows, Casey waits, ready to share their tales of terror with the next lone driver on a rainy night. Reign of the Forgotten. In the heart of a long-forgotten town, the ominous structure of an abandoned asylum stood as a haunting remnant of the past. Now a museum, the building housed echoes of bygone days, preserving the chilling history within its decaying walls. The most unsettling attraction was the collection of old therapy session recordings, which visitors could listen to during rainy days, the time when it was believed the lingering spirits of former patients were most active. Eager to document and unravel the mysteries of the paranormal, Alex Mercer, a seasoned paranormal investigator, ventured into the asylum with recording equipment in hand, determined to capture the alleged supernatural activity. As the first droplets of rain began to fall, a sense of anticipation filled the air. Armed with headphones and a sense of resolve, Alex began listening to the recordings. At first, the voices were faint, filled with static and echoes of pain and despair. But as the rain outside grew heavier, the voices became hauntingly clear, their tales of mistreatment and sorrow piercing through the veil of time. The spirits spoke of dark times, of isolation and cruelty, their voices filled with longing and rage. They shared stories of being forgotten, neglected, and mistreated, their pleas for recognition and justice resonating through the damp, cold walls of the asylum. As the hours passed, the intensity of the rain mirrored the desperation in the voices, trapping Alex in a whirlwind of despair and terror. The spirits, once mere echoes of the past, now seemed to come alive, their presence overwhelming and suffocating. Desperation turned to anger, and the voices grew louder, more demanding. They sought retribution for the pain they endured, and they saw Alex, an intruder, a living soul, as their conduit to the living world. The asylum itself seemed to come alive, doors slamming shut, lights flickering, and the temperature dropping to an unnatural chill. Panicked, Alex tried to leave, but the spirits were relentless, their anger manifesting in violent poltergeist activity, blocking the exits and shrouding the investigator in darkness. The voices were now screams, their pain palpable, as they channeled their rage through the asylum, shaking the very foundations of the building. In a final devilish act of retribution, the spirits merged their energy, creating a vortex of supernatural force that engulfed Alex. The investigator's screams echoed through the halls, blending with the cries of the spirits as they were pulled into the abyss, lost to the world of the living. The rain outside ceased as suddenly as it began, leaving behind an eerie silence. The asylum, now calm, stood as a cryptic monument to the forgotten souls within its walls. Visitors to the museum would continue to hear whispers during rainy days, tales of sorrow and anger. But amidst the voices, a new one could be heard, that of Alex Mercer, now one of the forgotten, their soul trapped within the walls of the asylum, forced to relive the terror of that fateful, stormy night. And so, the legend of the Reign of the Forgotten grew, a chilling reminder of the spirits that lingered, waiting for the rain to fall, eager to share their stories and claim any soul brave or foolish enough to listen.